learning process is concerned, when we are talking about different other aspects of learning process which can be helpful for the organization for their development, and these learning processes are basically given to the employees as employees, that means the freshers as well as the employees who are already working in the organization. So there are different type of systems which we are uh, giving to the employees so that they will well versed with the latest development and latest innovation and the technological development system, and they can incorporate those systems in their day-to-day activities when they are on the job. So in this we are going to talk about the intelligent tutorial system. They are the instructional instruments or systems that use artificial intelligence. There are three type of intelligent tutorial system environments. Number one is tutoring, coaching, and empowering. Empowering. So if we talk about the different type of intelligent tutorial system, it says that there are 3 points which we have to take into consideration. Number one is it is in the tutorial role. Number two, it is in the coaching form, and number three, empowering. So different from other new training technology, it is in several ways. That means that they are saying that whatever the training we are giving to the people or the employees or the trainees, it is different from the others. How? Number one, this has the ability to match instruction to individual students' need. That means that this has the capability. That means the artificial intelligence system has the capability to match the instruction to individual students' need. That means that whatever the students are required or whatever the need of the student or the trainees are there, they are in a position to match the instruction accordingly. Number two, they can communicate and respond to the trainees. That means that in this system, in intelligent tutorial system, what happens? They can easily match or easily communicate and respond to the trainees. So you can very well understand when the trainings are giving and when it is communicating effectively to the trainees, and they are responding according to the need of the trainees. It will be much more better for the trainees to understand the thing effectively, and this can model the trainees learning process. That means that in this system, usually what happens that they can make a model on the basis of which the trainings can be taken care of, and the process of the learning model are going to be more effective, as I have told you in different other lectures, that we have to make the training modules, and on the basis of that we have to put up those training modules in front of all the trainees so that they will learn the thing in a very effective manner, or you can say the learning process will become much more effective. Same here also, they are providing the training modules which can be helpful for the training process. Then they can decide on the basis of the trainees previous performances what information to provide. That means that in this situation, that means the intelligent tutorial system, the best part is that they can provide the information on the basis of the trainees previous performances. That means that whatever the previous performances are there, they can provide all the information to the trainer, that okay, these are the performances of the trainees, and now we have to make the model or the learning process in such a manner so that they will understand the thing much more better. So if you see that in intelligent tutorial method, there these are different from other training methods, and the best part of these are there are few points which I have just talked to you. Then they have the ability to match the instruction to individual training. Number one, number two, they can communicate and respond also to the trainees. Then they can make the model regarding the training learning process is concerned. Number four is they can decide on the basis of the trainees previous performances the information so that it will be helpful to the trainers to understand that how they are going to make the new model for the trainees and according to the needs of the trainers. Then they can make the decisions about the trainees level of understanding. In this intelligent tutorial system, or you can say the artificial intelligence system, what will happen, they can make the decisions about the trainees level of understanding, that whatever the training are giving to the trainees, it is usually seen that in this particular type of system they can easily take the decision regarding the level of the student, that what students level are, and according to that they have to change their model and the learning process. Then it can complete a self assessment resulting in a modification of its teaching process. As I have told you that they can take the decision regarding the level of the understanding of the students or the trainees. This can complete a self assessment also, resulting in modification of the teaching process. That means that on the basis of the self assessment, which can be taken care by this type of system, that is intelligent tutorial system. In this, when the self assessment is there, it will result in the modification of the teaching process. That means that if some trainee required something more or some training required something less, it can be modified according to that. So these are the basic plus points of these intelligent tutorial system. Then we can discuss about the components of intelligent tutorial system. What are the basic components which are utilized in the training intelligent systems? Number one, domain expert provides information about how to perform the task. This is the first point regarding the component is concerned, that the person should be domain expert on that, and they are providing the information that how you are going to perform the task. This is the first component of that. Number two is the trainee model, that it provides the information about students' knowledge, that as per the need of the student, as per the knowledge of the student, as I have just explained to you, that this will help in getting the information regarding the level of the understanding of the trainees. So in that situation, the trainee model can be made on the basis of the student's knowledge is concerned. Then number three is training session manager. This interpret the trainees' actions and report the results or provides the coaching. That means that in this situation, that means in the training session manager, that means this clearly indicates that we are talking about the session which usually takes place during the training period. In this situation, they interpret the trainees' action, what they are responding, and report the results or provide the coaching. That means that they can see the trainees' acceptance level during the training, and then they can provide the reports as well as they can interpret the things also. Then next is the trainee scenario generator. It determines the difficulty and order in which problems are presented to trainees. That means trainee scenario generator means that in this situation, trainers are providing some sort of discussions or solution problems in front of the trainees, and it will provide the information regarding the difficulty level of the problems in which they are presented to the trainees, so that they can easily find out that up to which level the trainees are going to uh, compete in this difficulty levels. Then next is the user interface. That means enable the trainees to internet with the system. That means that in the initial stages, they enable the trainees to interact with the system. That means that whatever the system on which they are working or how they are working, they are enabling the trainees to interact with those systems so that it will be easier for them to understand the thing. So if you see that there are four things which comes under the components of intelligent tutorial system, which is domain expert, training module, training session manager, and the training scenario generator. Then distance learning. This is another part. It involves two type of technology: teleconferencing, synchronous exchange of audio, video, or text between two or more individuals or groups at two or more locations. Teleconferencing means that the people are sitting in different areas with the help of the audio, video, and the text between the two individuals or the group of the individuals in two or more locations can be taken care with the help of the teleconferencing. This is known as distance learning. Nowadays it is become very common that teleconferences are one of the reasons how the people are just going for the teleconferencing, and they are discussing the thing in detail about the thing. So if the training are also provided to the people, they are in a position to learn the thing sitting at a different distances at different locations, and maybe the group of people are there who can just easily get the information with the help of the teleconferencing. Second is the interactive distance learning. This is the latest generation of distance learning, which uses satellite technology to broadcast program to different locations and allow trainees to respond to questions posed during the training program using a keypad. It is a interactive distance learning is the latest technology which are taking place. In this, with the help of the satellite technology, you can broadcast the program to different locations and allow the trainees who are sitting in different locations to respond the questions which are posed during the training program using a keypad. That means with the help of the keypad, they can give the answers of the questions which are asked during the training period with the help of the broadcasting method. In this satellite technology method, you have to make the questions and you have to broadcast those questions in front of maybe a group of people or maybe individual or maybe two people, and they will respond with the help of the keypads. This is known as interactive distance learning. Then what are the advantages of distance learning? As you know, we have discussed about the teleconferencing, we have discussed about the interactive distance learning. Now, we please remember one thing: when we are talking about the teleconferencing, it is related with the audio, visual, and the text procedure which we are providing to the trainees. Then, when we are talking about the interactive distance learning, it is related with the satellite technology with the help of which we are broadcasting the things and the trainees are responding according to that. So they are saying that what are the basic advantages and what are the basic disadvantages in this. So the advantages, if we are talking about, is the company can save on travel costs. This is one of the biggest advantage, because if they are sitting at one place and giving training to different type of people at different locations, it will be easier for company to save lot of money, because instead of calling everybody at headquarter or maybe a certain place where they are planning to give the training, that is different thing. Then they allow the employees in geographical dispersed sites to receive training from experts who would not otherwise be available to visit each location. This is also a very important, that the trainees can get the training at sitting at different locations, and they are receiving the training with different experts who are not able to travel from one location to another location. This is one of the biggest advantage. Suppose it is a global company and they want their expert from USA. I'm just giving an example. If from USA they just want to give some training to the people who are in stationed at different locations in India. So with the help of the distance learning, they can provide either help with the help of the teleconferencing or with the help of the interactive uh, with the help of the interactive distance learning, they can provide all the training to the people sitting in USA. So you can understand that these are the biggest advantage. Now the revolution is there regarding the satellite technology is concerned, regarding the computer technology is concerned. Then what are the disadvantages? Number, lack of interaction between the trainer and the audience. Yes, this is one of the biggest disadvantage when we are giving distance learning program, when we are discussing the thing to the trainees, giving the training to the trainees. with the help of the teleconferencing or interactive learning process, distance learning, there is a thing which is missing in this, which is known as the interaction. Because when the experts are giving training to the people from different country, the audience cannot interact with them in different mode or in detail. So this is one of the disadvantage. Then second is technological failure. Sometimes it happens that training is going on and all of a sudden the technological failure take place. Maybe the computer hang up or maybe the light has gone or something like that. So in that situation, it will be a problem that the technological failures are also one of the disadvantages of that. Then unprepared trainers. In this situation, what will happen when the training is given? It is usually seen that the trainers are not very well prepared. And when the trainers are not prepared, it is difficult for them to understand the thing much effectively. And it will create a lot of problem in front of the trainees because they are not able to understand these trainers. So this is also one of the disadvantage of the distance learning. Now, conditions when training super technology are most needed. That there are some conditions when these technologies are very much needed during the training period. Number one, performance of the task is infrequent. That means that whatever the performance are given by the trainees are not up to the mark. Then the task is lengthy, difficult, and information intensive. That means that whatever the tasks are given to the trainees, in this condition, what will happen? It will be difficult for the trainees to understand the thing because the tasks are very lengthy, difficult, and the information incentive tasks are there. Then the consequences of error are damaging. That means that whatever the errors are occurring, it is going to be damage the whole process. Then the performances relies on knowledge, procedures, or approach that frequently changes. That means that whatever the performances are there, it totally depends on the knowledge, procedure, and the approaches that frequently changes. Then there is high employee turnover. This will happen that the employees turnovers are becoming more and more. Then little time is available for training or resources for training a few people. That these are the conditions which can uh, create some problem when these training supports are needed by the organization. Little time is available for training or resources for training new people. That means that in the organizations, because the times are very less and they are unable to train the new people, then employees are expected to take full responsibility for learning and performing tasks. That means that in this situation, it is expected from the employee to understand each and everything and take full responsibility of learning the thing. So these are the conditions when the training support technologies are not most required. That these are the problems which require lot of uh, attention of the organization or the trainers. Then what are the technologies for the training support? Expert system. In this system, the technology that organizes and applies the knowledge of human expert to specific problem. That means in this technology, they organize and apply the knowledge of human expert. That means that whatever the human expert knowledge is there or the person is expert in a particular field, they are going to organize and apply the knowledge, and they are using those experts knowledge on a specific problem. These have three elements. Number one is knowledge base, number two is decision making capabilities, and number three is user interface. That means that number one, in this expert system, the expert should be a proper knowledgeable person. They must be having a decision making capabilities, and they are user interface should be there. That means that they can talk to the people in very effective manner. Then second is groupware. This enables the multiple users to track, share, and organize information and to work on the same document simultaneously. This usually happens in the areas where some projects are given to a group of people, and the people are sitting in different locations, maybe in India or maybe abroad. In this situation, this is known as the multiple users. They have to track and share the things, organize the information, because they are working on the same document simultaneously. This usually happens in multinational companies or the big companies who are having their headquarters in different countries. So, in this situation, when they are working on a particular project, in this situation, while they are completing the project, they are going to share and organize the information in such a manner, because they are working on a same document simultaneously. So it is known as groupware. The companies use this groupware to improve the business's process, to improve meeting effectiveness, as well as to identify and share the knowledge in the organization. That means that these are the things which, as I have told you, that this usually happens in the companies who are having their headquarters, or maybe who are having their branches in different areas, locations, or in foreign countries. They are using the business process, they are using the effectiveness, how to improve the business, and as well as they are in a position to identify and share the knowledge in the organization. That means that whatever the things they are doing it, they are identifying the information and they are sharing these knowledge among the people who are working in the organization. Then technology for training administration. What are the basic technologies which are used when we are training the administration? Interactive voice technology. It is uses as a conventional process computer to create an automated phone response system. Interactive voice technology means that it is the technology in which the automatic phone response system comes. Sometime you must have ring to you call a person, and you are getting a automatic response from that particular person on the phone that I am in a meeting, I will call you back after some time. So this is known as interactive voice technology. Then imaging, scanning documents, storing them electronically and retrieving them. That means that imaging means that you are going to scan the whole document, storing them electronically, and retrieving them, that you are going to retrieve those things whenever it is required. So when the sub word comes imaging, imaging means you are scanning the documents, you are storing them electronically, and whenever it is required you can retrieve those documents. This is imaging document. Then third is the training software applications. It is used to track information related to training administration, employees' skills, employees' training activities, online learning, and transfer of training. That means that training software application is basically used to track the information related to the training administration. That means that whatever the training are giving and whatever the administration are required during the training program, it can be taken with the help of the software application. Then with the help of this you can identify the employees skill also. You have to find out the employees training activities, that what type of activities they are performing when they are getting the training. Then we can identify the online learning system, and as well as we are identifying the transfer of training also from trainers to training. Then learning management system, a technological platform that can be used to automate the administration, development, and delivery of all a company's training program. This is another system which is known as learning management system. It is a platform that can be used to automate the administration, development, and the delivery of all a company's training program. That means that whatever the deliveries we are giving during the training program, whatever the things we are administrating, and the development of the organization, we can use with the help of the learning management system. Then what are the features of learning management system? Number one, the trainee management and reporting. We can track and report on trainees' progress and activities. Then training, event and resource management. We can organize the courses and learning events in catalogs, manage and track courses, resources such as classrooms and instructions, support communications among administrators and the students. Then online course delivery instruction, deliver online courses, register and track the training, authoring, authoring the tools that will create new courses, promote consistency in the courses. Then skill assessment, create, edit, distribute and deliver the assessment tests, review the training achievements. Then professional management, that means professional development management. Track and compare the training learning against the goals based on the training's job or functions. Then knowledge base means integrate links to learning references that supplement online learning. And personalization, that engage employees in learning through the use of target course references and email. So in a brief, you can say that basic features of the learning management system is that you can track and report regarding the training progress is concerned, and the activities you can also track that thing. You can organize different courses with the help of the LMS, and then you can put up the classroom and instructors also, support the communication among the administrators and the students. Then it will deliver online courses also, it can promote new courses also, it can create, edit and distribute and deliver the assessment test also, review the trainees achievements also. Then they can track and compare the training learning against the goal. That means that whatever the trainees are learning regarding the goals are concerned, how much they are learning, it can be taken care with the help of the LMS. Then they can engage the employees in learning through the use of target courses or the references or the emails. Then what are the advantages of learning management system? As I have discussed to you, these are the things which can be taken care of with the help of the learning management system. So there must be some sort of advantages also. So what are the basic advantages? It reduces the travel and training related cost. This is obvious that you are sitting at one place, but it can be used by different people at different level. Then it reduces the time for program completion. That it will reduce the time of the program completion because everything is provided on the LMS model. Then it increase the employees accessibility to training across the business. That means whatever the training are providing to the people or the trainees, it can be increase the accessibility of that. That means that training can be accessed at any level. That it will provide the administrative capabilities to track program completion and course enrollment. That means that with the help of the LMS system, you can track the enrollment of the trainees as well as the program completion of the trainees. Then it allow companies to track all learning activities in the business. That means that whatever the learning activities are going to take place in the business, it can be helped with the help of the training system. Then the major reason that companies adopt LMS are to centralize management of learning activities. That means they want to centralize the thing so that they will find out at one go that what are the basic things going on in the organization regarding the learning systems are concerned. Then they can track the regulatory compliances. That means that whatever things are required from the organization side, they can track those things and they will see that how it is going to be compliant. Then they can measure the training usage and employees performance. With the help of the LMS, the organization can find out and measure the training use and the employees performance. That means what are the required of the training use and what are the performances of the employee. Then developing on LMS, senior management needs to be convinced that an LMS will benefit employees, improve business function and contribute to overall business strategies and goals. Because when we are talking about the LMS system, there are some uh, hiccups or there are some reservations regarding the top management is concerned. In that situation, we have to convince that LMS will benefit the employees also, that it will improve the business functions and contribute to overall business strategies and goals. Then the company must have an e-learning culture also. And the third, the online learning environment needs to be under the control of the learner. That means that whatever the online learning environments are taking place, it is under the control of the learner. Then what are the methods which we can choose in regarding the new technology training is concerned? So new technology training methods should be considered when sufficient budget and resources are provided. This is one point. Number two is the trainees are geographically dispersed. That means they are stationed in different locations. Then trainees are comfortable using the technology. This is very important because we have to see before giving the training on LMS that whether the employees or whether the trainees are comfortable with this type of technology. It is a part of the company business strategy and suits its culture. Nowadays, it becomes a part of the organization's business strategy. Then employees have a difficult time attending scheduled training programs because sometimes it happens that employees are not able to join the training program whatever is created or given by the training department. So in with the help of this LMS they can join the training program at any time. Then current training methods allow limited time for practice, feedback and assessment. That means that whatever the training programs are there, they are allowing a limited time period for practices, feedback and the assessment is concerned. Now I have given a chart here which is saying that it is the comparison of technology based training methods. So it is related with CD-ROM, internet, intranet, e-learning, learning, distance learning, intelligent tutorial, and virtual reality. So if we talk about the development regarding the e-learning or regarding the LMS is concerned, development means formal education, job experience, relationship, and assessment of personality and ability that will help employees perform effectively in their current or future job and company. That means it is a formal education and the job experience, relationship, and assessment of the personality and ability that help the employee to perform effectively. Then, regarding the comparison between the training and development, if we talk about this, so I have divided this into two parts. Number one is training, number two is development. So, the focus is on, if we talk about the training, it is current, development is regarding the future is concerned, then use of work experience means it is low regarding the training is concerned, and after this, it it is high. Then what is the goal? Preparation for current job. That means that we are training, giving the training to the people regarding the current job is concerned. And development means then it is related with the preparation for the changes. Then participation means training required and it is voluntary. Then why is employee development important? So first point is to improve the quality. Second point is to meet the challenges of global competition and social changes. Three is incorporate technological advantages and change in work design. I think these 3 points are very, very common, and everybody should be in a position to understand only these 3 points without explanation. Then, what are the development activities which can help the companies reduce the turnover? Showing employees that the company is investing in the employees skill development, that yes, company has to show to the employees that they are really interested in the skill development of the employee. Then developing the managers who can create a positive work environment that makes employees want to come to work and contribute to the company's goal. That means that in this situation, regarding the development is concerned, we have to see that how we are developing the managers so that they can create a positive environment. And when the environment is positive, you can very well see that the employees also want to come to work and they contribute to the achieving of the company's goal. Then approaches to employees development. What are the basic approaches which we are using regarding the employees development are concerned? Number one, formal education program. This includes off-site and on-site programs designed specifically for the company's employee. This is one point. Second is short courses offered by the consultants or universities, executive MBA programs and university programs. Then tuition reimbursement, the practices of reimbursing employees' cost for college and university courses and degree program. This is very, very important on the part of the organization if they are providing some sort of reimbursement to the participant who are going for some higher education, or maybe they are going for some degree programs in the universities. We can take example of defense forces. In defense forces they are providing the educational loan also, they are providing educational leave also, so that the people can go and work and get the formal educations which are required. Then assessment, collecting the information and providing feedback to employees about their behavior, communication style, value or skill. I think this is very, very clear that we are assessing the employees and we are providing the feedback to the employees regarding their behavior, communication style, skill and value is concerned. Then second is used most frequently to identify employees with managerial potentiality and measure current managers' strengths and weaknesses. That means that it is usually seen that we have to identify the employees who are having the potentiality of the managership, and we can measure the current manager's strengths and weaknesses, and we can identify those things and give the feedback to the people. Then in the assessment, the third point is the companies vary in the methods and sources of information they use in development assessment. That means different companies are having different type of approach regarding the assessments are concerned, and they are providing those assessment information to the employees regarding their developments are concerned and regarding the development assessment are concerned. Then Myers Briggs type indicator. This is, they are the researchers, they have given some indicators which are most popular psychological test for the employees development. This is very important that we have to go for the psychological test of the employees time to time. Then we have to identify the individual's preferences for energy, information gathering, decision making and lifestyle. During the training program or the development program, we have to identify the individual's preferences regarding the energy level is concerned, information gathering capacity is concerned, decision making power is concerned, and the lifestyle is concerned. Then it is valuable tool for understanding communication style and way people prefer to interact with other. Mayor Bridge indicator says that it is very, very valuable tool to understand the communication style of the employee and the way people prefer to interact with each other. Then personality type used are here, which can be of different thing. Then we are going to talk about the uh, assessment centers. In most of the organizations, there are different type of assessment centers. Multiple raters or evaluators evaluate employees' performance on a number of exercises. It is used basically to identify. That means the assessment centers are only used to identify the employees have the ability, personality, and behavior for management jobs. This is one point. Number two, if the employees have the necessary skill to work in the team or not. Then there are different type of exercises which can be used, which includes leaderless group, discussions, interviews, in basket and role plays, on the basis of which you can identify that what employees are capable of. Then benchmarks. This is the instrument designed to measure the important factors in being a successful manager. That means that there are some important factors which has to be identified and which are known as the benchmark for the managers. That items that are measured includes dealing with the subordinates, acquiring the resources, and creating a productive work climate. So these are the basic three things which we come take care into the benchmark process is concerned, that we have to deal with the subordinate, how we are dealing with the subordinate, how we are acquiring the resources, and how we are creating a productive work climate. So that will be easier for everyone to understand that how we are going to work on that. So on the basis of this, I have just given some questions also. And I'm quite sure that you are in a position to understand that what are the latest technology which are taking place and how we are going to approach those things. So these MCQs, I just read out few questions. When a group deliberates a planned vision, whose needs typically are the objective of the exercise? Number one, need of stockholders. Number two, need of customers. Number three, need of employees. And number four, the need or requirement of all stakeholders. Then second question says, what is the strategy of branching beyond the core capabilities that define product technologies and markets of current lines of businesses? Answer is diversification, outsourcing, clustering, or scanning. You have to define this thing. So apart from that, I have just given some more question which says the following are the benefits of the training: increase productivity, reduce the accidents, reduce supervision, or all of the above. Then demonstration type of training method is used to train the workers, supervisors, managers, or all of the above. Then the following is not a part of lower level management: worker, foreman training and development, supervisor, or the inspector. So these are few questions, and I'm quite sure after getting all the information from my side regarding that training uh, specialties are concerned, you are in a position to give the answer for each and everything. And I'm quite sure that it will be easier for you to identify and give the answer for that. So this is from my side. Thank you very much.